now, what are some key elements that you need for a very impactful scene, which are the scenes are the building blocks
Right,
of our
right,
story in
right.
this platform?
Well, that's a big topic. So scenes is something that I find that a lot of writers don't know how to do, even though they think they do, right? So they think of, they think of a scene with two people talking, and what they mostly do is basically, it's just exposition, right? They're talking about what the audience needs to know to advance the story. And so you have two people, basically, most of their dialogue is exposition. So the first thing that I tell people about scene writing is look at it as a mini story, right? So if you think of a story, you think about three acts, right? You think of a beginning, middle, and end. You think of a character who wants something, right? You think of conflict, what's standing in their way, and what do they do about it, right? That's your whole script. Well, think about the same thing in a scene. In a good scene, you have a character who wants something, is having difficulty getting it, right? And you watch how they go about getting it. And sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't, and then you move on to the next scene. Right. So that's why I call dramatic scenes. So dramatic, not in the sense of, melodramatic, like, hysteric people yelling at each other. I'm talking about dramatic in the true sense of the meaning of drama, which is a character not getting what they want. That is the essence of drama.
And then
Right.
that's also
The character wants something and not getting it.
right. And if you're able to construct scenes like that, you keep the audience engaged the entire
Absolutely, because
time.
that creates tension. They wonder if they're going to get it or not, right? And especially if you have stakes, which is another part of the equation, right? High stakes, low stakes. It's got to be important for the character to get in the scene. So if we don't care, we're not going to care, right? So it's kind of, you got to have high stakes in the scene, right? A strong reason for a character wanting something and a desperation for them to get it. And then you have tension. And to me, tension is this kind of interplay between, us worrying that they're not going to get it or something bad's going to happen, and hope that things are going to work out for that character.
So a scene like in a Hitchcock movie, the bomb underneath the desk, the bomb
Yeah.
underneath the coffee table,
Right. Right.
that
Right.
whole concept of where, because that scene to me, and there's a lot of Hitchcock.
Right.
Arguably, there were characters, and some of his best movies were character driven, like Psycho,
Right.
North by Northwest.
All right.
Some of his other ones were much more structural in
Well,
plot.
he was the master of suspense.
Right,
All he cared about,
right.
was suspense. That's all he cared about. He
That's
cared
it.
about great tension. He really cared about
Right,
manipulating the audience's emotions,
right,
right?
right.
And he even said that is actually a great anecdote that was shared by Ernest Lehman, who wrote North by Northwest. And he said that, you remember when he used to be on set in between takes, and Hitchcock said, it's amazing how the movies, we do this and the audience feels this, and then we do this and the audience feels that. It's almost like we're playing an organ at a church, and each key is a specific emotion. And then Hitchcock said, yeah, pretty soon we won't need that. We won't need movies anymore. We'll just kind of like put him to electrodes or something like that, and play all the different keys. But he was a master at that. And that example about the bomb on the table was really to explain the difference between surprise and dramatic irony. So dramatic irony is also known as reader superior position or audience superior position, which is putting the audience in a superior position than the characters.
That they
That
know something that nobody else.
they know that they know something the characters don't know. So his take, which he was right about, is that you could have two characters talking in a scene at a restaurant talking about the weather, right? And suddenly a bomb goes off because there was a bomb on the table. We didn't know this, right? So you have 5 seconds of shock and surprise, okay? Another way of doing that scene is to actually have the two people talking in the scene and then put the camera down so you see the bomb ticking, and it's got 15 minutes to go, and then you go back again to the people talking about the weather. Now you have 15 minutes of tension and suspense. So he said, yeah, 15 minutes of suspense is a lot better than 5 seconds of surprise and shock.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So audience superior position is probably one of the most often used techniques, very effective for creating that engagement and creating that suspense and that tension.
And then the concepts that you were just talking about before, where a character in a scene needs to get something and something stopping them, that conversation at that table
Right.
could be all of that, But then you
Right.
add into the mix, there's a bomb underneath the table.
Right. Right.
But the Hitchcock said one very important thing that you left out, that you cannot, once the audience knows the bomb is there, you cannot blow the table up. You can't blow the place up because they will be very upset with you. If you kill them and they didn't know about it, okay. But if you let them in on it and you torture them for 15 minutes and you still kill them, they'll never forgive you.
I know exactly. Right. Yeah.